So I've had many attempts of dieting and trying to get into good shape over the last few years, and one of the most important things I've learned is that it is best to find motivation off of losing something rather than gaining something. A lot of people will look at images of people in incredible shape and use them as their motivation for dieting and working hard at the gym. Unfortunately, this doesn't work for most people. I realize that there's much stronger motivation when I look at photos of fat, unhealthy people suffering from a life that's difficult as a result of being extremely out of shape than looking at people who are already in incredible shape. Yes, there's a whole claim about how motivation is useless and that discipline is the only important thing here, but let's disregard that debate for a second and focus solely on the motivation aspect right now. When I started observing other parts of my life and observing other people, I realized this theory to be true. I learned from some video shortly after that humans are more inclined to avoid discomfort and pain than we are to chase pleasure and gains. And this isn't just for muscular gains obviously, but also for any other sorts of rewards that exist out in the world. I can't remember exactly which video it was, but basically a dude was talking about how humans are willing to put 2 to 2.5 more effort into avoiding pain than we are into chasing pleasure. Let's pretend that you have two people who are exactly the same weight and level of unhealthiness. Let's pretend that person 1 gets into great shape so that he can get attention from women at the beach in the summertime, and person 2 wants to get into shape so that he can save himself from a heart attack that he feels he's going to experience soon. I guarantee the first person will go hard for a couple weeks and quit, whereas the second person, who's afraid of the heart attack, will actually have a much more legitimate chance of turning their life around. These days, I don't look at pictures of aesthetic bodybuilders, and I don't really watch workout videos to motivate myself to continue in the gym. I will actually watch videos of super fat people who are unable to move around, or videos of people like Nikocado Avocado, and also people who are basically about to die from health complications from being overweight. It sounds harsh, but watching these videos of people in suffering is the best way to keep yourself going. The knowledge of chasing pleasure versus avoiding pains should also be applied to every other part of life as well. If your goal is wealth, then you should be motivated by wanting to avoid the shitty life circumstances that you'd endure from being poor, rather than the flashy life you'd have as a millionaire. If you find yourself studying your ass off in university and you can't find motivation, start envisioning the consequences of not succeeding in your studies. I believe that this way of thinking is hardwired into our brain because back then, our ancient ancestors would be more inclined to avoid getting mauled by some animal out there, and most of their life probably revolved around staying safe. People weren't going to leave the tribe to go out somewhere to try to find pleasure unless the pain of hunger was great enough that they had to go out there and hunt some animal. The more I observe myself and others around me, the more I start to see it everywhere. It's kind of like being comfortable can be a curse since it's going to stunt your growth big time. So I guess what you can take away from this is that you should motivate yourself off of potential loss and discomfort rather than try to motivate yourself off of what you can gain and what rewards you can get from that thing. If there's a large goal you have that you don't feel like doing, see if you can brainstorm the downsides of not doing that and use that as fuel to continue doing it.